Hey Loc fam, it's Linus. So there's a lot of videos right now about discrimination against locs in the workplace. What really got it started is there's this woman named Chastity Jones, and in 2010 she went to apply for a job at an insurance company in Alabama, and she was rejected. The human resources person told her that it's because of her locs, that locs tend to get messy. So in 2013, Chastity filed a lawsuit against the company, and just recently the case was dismissed basically. They told her that it wasn't grounds for discrimination or grounds for a case against discrimination, that no discrimination took place. The main issue that really strikes a chord with people is they are saying it's a form of racial discrimination. I do understand that some of the people I follow, not a lot, but some of the people I follow on YouTube or Instagram, although they have locs, they are not black, they are not mixed with black, they are full Indian or full Caucasian, and that's fine. The thing that I always want to point out to people that have locs or dreads is that for one person it's one thing, for another person it's another thing. So some Caucasians or non-blacks, if they have dreads because they like the way they look, or they have dreads because they live a natural lifestyle, or they're drawn to the Rasta culture, that's fine. I don't judge people. But on the other hand, a lot of black people that have locs, it's more of a, I don't want to say spiritual, but there's like a deeper chord that it strikes. For me, I had relaxed hair most of my life. When I was almost 30 years old, when I was in my mid-20s, I cut all my hair off and I decided that I wanted to grow my hair natural. And even though a lot of people were going natural back then, it was still a big thing because a lot of people were still used to seeing black girls with straight hair or black girls with weave, and they felt that, you know, the kinky hair that grew out of their head was ugly or not acceptable and all that stuff. So it took a lot for me to decide to cut my hair in my late 20s as opposed to wait till I'm 40 or 50 and I don't care so much about what people think. A lot of people did look at me kind of funny, and I did get a few negative comments from people that were non-black, people I'm close to that I don't want to expand on right now because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So for me to decide that I didn't want to wear the straight hair and the weaves anymore, that was a big step because a lot of black girls, some of them relaxed their hair to fit in, to assimilate with whites and Asians and Indians, and just to fit in and to feel beautiful because that's what they see all the time. To walk around a fro or super kinky hair, if you're not seeing it idealized, then it's hard to accept that as beauty. Now to have locs, that's another story because not only do you have your natural hair growing out of your head, which a lot of people don't accept and don't see as beautiful, but you have hair that kind of makes a statement, that carries a lot of stereotypes, like being from the Rasta culture, smoking weed, being Jamaican, being very pro-black, just like people that wear their hair in a full fro are. And you just get looked at differently than someone who's non-black would be looked at. It takes a lot to walk around with natural hair, but at the same time, loose natural hair is very versatile, and when you have locs, even within the black community, you do get a lot of negative comments. Why don't you do something with your hair? Or why would you lock your hair because you can't do this, you can't do that? Or you have good hair, why are you locking it? It's just another step. When you go natural, it's one step towards accepting your race and your natural hair that grows out of your head. When you have locs, it's a different form of acceptance as well. So I do see it as a form of racial discrimination. I wash my hair, I don't comb my hair, it locks. That's all there is to it. So kinky hair is very prone to locking. There's nothing there's not a lot of manipulation going on, and people that have kinky hair that choose to wear their hair in locks, it's so that they can just be more natural and low maintenance sometimes with the way their hair grows out of their head, and because that's the way their hair naturally grows out of their head. So to feel pressured by an institution or by someone outside of your race to straighten your hair or put weave on or do something unnatural, that's a whole separate thing than your hair being messy. When you say someone's hair is messy, you don't know their personal grooming habits, you don't know how they're going to come to work with their hair, you're just judging them on their hair, and you don't know why they even have locs in the first place. As instead of saying, oh, I'm not going to hire you because you're black, it's easy to say, I'm not going to hire you because you have locs, or you have a fro, or you have this, or you have that. And I'm upset that the company got away with it, but at the same time, things like that happen all the time. They're just not publicized. I know that for me, My personality, I don't do too well working a 9 to 5 in a structured environment. And because of that, I've had like a lot of different jobs in my life. And right now I'm doing hairstyling, but I'm not really working for anyone. And the last salon I worked for, even though the first interview I attended for that job in a natural hair salon went well, someone there did point out to me, like, why is your hair locked? You have the type of hair that does not need to be locked to grow long, and it's going to be harder for you to fit in. Those weren't her exact words, but she was saying that everyone else here has loose hair. Everyone could style their hair, play around with their hair, but for you, it's going to be different. So that was my very first taste of being like, other Black people, some of them still have issues with locks. It shouldn't matter to other people that you have your hair in locks, but it does. I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, I do feel that ruling was unfair, but I do feel that it takes place all the time, even within the Black communities. There are probably some people, Black businesses, that wouldn't hire other people with locks because they have stereotypes or whatever. I know that when I have maybe several tattoos. When I got most of them, I was already 30 years old. Same with when I locked my hair, I was already 30 years old. At that point in my life, I already knew that what I wanted to do for a living wouldn't be in corporate America, I wouldn't be in an office environment. I had a lot of little side things going on so that I could kind of know that I could make a living not having to work for someone else, and that my tattoos and my dreads, or my locks, sorry, wouldn't be that big of an issue. But yeah, it does emphasize how we should be self-employed, how we should support Black business, because people are going to use any excuse to discriminate against Blacks because of the negative feelings they have towards them. So that's something to keep in mind. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.